earlier on, it's all you need to know that what are the good journals in your field, and then you already know which journal to target. Okay, and it's important. I keep mentioning it again and again is to read the aims and scope from the guide for authors. Let's say for this energy journal, you need to see what they are focusing on. They focus, let's say in this case, they focus on energy analysis, modeling, da, 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 da. So you look back on your title and your the title of your paper abstract and see whether it fits. If it is not fit to this journal, so don't send these journals. Okay, so it's always good to read the journal aims and scope. And yes, choosing the right journal. You need to know first. You need to look at your paper. You need to assess yourself, the level of your paper, the quality of your paper. If you think your paper is good, go for Q1 and Q2 journal. Or if you think it is not that it is okay, but the data may not be enough, less data, then try Q3, Q4 or Scopus Index. And yes, some of you may wonder, I mean, is it easier to publish in open access journals? To me, it's like a paid journal. It depends. Like if sometimes you may have time constraint, like you need to graduate and publication, you need to publish a few papers in order to graduate as a graduation requirement. So in that case, you could try some open access journal. It could be easier and faster in some cases, okay? And but of course, you need to pay for the publication fees, and it's not cheap. You need to discuss with your supervisor as well, okay? And yes, sometimes we submit the paper to this journal, and without any reason, they just reject it. That's what we call desk rejection. And this is very normal. In that case, don't be sad. Just submit to another journal. This happens sometimes. Okay? And yes, cover letter. Cover letter is letters that you will always need to attach along when you are submitting your papers to the journals. So writing a good cover letter is very important because it is the first impressions that you will give to editors before he reads your papers and access it. Okay, so writing a very good cover letter is important. Okay, mm, yes, like I said, I don't encourage my team to finish the paper, writing the paper, then only we think which journal we want to target. Before we write the papers, we already identify and decide A, B, C. These are the journals that we want to try. We will start with A first. If not rejected, then B and C. Okay? So determine once you target your journal, and then you can go to that journal's website and study their formatting, the guide for authors, and then follow the format. Okay? Once you finish a paper, check and revise at least twice before sending to your supervisor. Okay, and send it to your colleagues as well, or your friends to proofreading or get second opinion. It is very useful. Sometimes you may have written something, but you don't know whether the things that you have written is clear or not. So it's good always to have other people to read and get a second opinion from them. I once sent my papers to, let's say, because I'm working on engineering, I actually sent my paper to my friends who are economists and who are social scientists. I asked them to, hey, you have a quick read and see whether you understand what I'm writing. You'll be surprised the comments from them. Sometimes they will just say, hey Lam, I really don't know what you're talking about. This writing is really bad or something. Okay, so that in that case, that gives you the idea of whether you need to revise your papers for the clarity or to improve or simply to improve it better. Okay, follow the formatting. I mean, read the guide for authors and write a compelling cover letter. It is very, very important. Okay, right. And yes, after you have submitted the papers, the editors decide to send your papers to invite reviewers to review your papers, and you are lucky that they give good reviews. You are allowed a chance to revise the papers, so you get the reviewer comments asking you to revise the papers. So once you get the revisions, revise it as soon as possible. Don't delay. Okay. Sometimes I have students, they like to delay. Oh, I got these comments. Oh, a lot of comments. I wait for another 2 weeks, then only I revise. remember that you have a deadline that allows you to revise your papers. Normally it's 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So once you get back the revisions, work on it as soon as possible. And don't take the reviews personally. You need to know that some reviewers, because reviewing papers is a volunteering job, they don't get pay or anything. So when they review, sometimes they are very honest with their comments, or they get moody with their comments, so they can write some bad comments like this is very lousy, this is rubbish or something. Don't take this personally. You just need to know that the reviewers is also a human with emotions. Sometimes they are moody, so only take those good comments in your mind and then revise accordingly. Okay. And yes, when you are responding to the reviews, response to reviewer is very critical, important. The key word is to be polite. Write your sentences in a polite. Thank you very much for spending your time to comment our papers, and we will revise the best we can. Thank you for your comments. We apologize for being unfair on this. The keyword is to be polite and also be detailed in your response. So I've given some example here, like when I revise the papers and then send the revised paper to the journal, this is the way how I normally write. Always be polite. Okay, and editor is less likely to reject the paper when you do well as an author to address the reviewer by being polite and to revise in a detailed way, provide a detailed response. Okay, yeah, I think that's all I would like to share. So there are some time for if you have any questions, and I would love